In today's video, we are going to address one of the most important topics in everybody's life, and that is the discipline of saving money. And we are talking more from the perspective of where you have constant cash flows in your business. And in this case, I'm going to address people who make income on daily basis, and for that reason they are not able to make good savings because they are used to touching small amount of money every other minute, every other hour, every other day. And this topic is inspired by the fact that I have invested in taxi business, that is Uber, and in line with that, I also speak with so many taxi drivers on the road every day. If you follow my channel, you will realize that I have interviewed so many taxi drivers, and one big trend among all those taxi drivers is that they all complain that the business does not have money. But if you sit down with them and analyze the amount of money they collect each and every day, if you look at their app history, so the history of trips they make every day or every week, you will realize that actually there is quite a good amount of money in that business as compared to the level of criticism, to the level of complaints that is fronted by drivers. And this does not mean that there are no challenges. There are quite a good number of challenges, as we have discussed so many times in this channel. But one big fact is that taxi drivers, that is Uber and Bolt and others in Nairobi, they touch quite a lot of money on daily basis. But as we all admit, even in our normal life, Kenyans have an issue with cash management. If you are in a business that handles money every day, you need to have a solid plan for your saving, for your savings in a way that is very disciplined, so that you see results in the future, let's say 5 years from today. And I'll give you two examples. I have discussed with more than 10 drivers who told me that they have been driving taxis since 2018. So 2018 until 2024, that is close to 7 years right now. But they told me that they have not been able to save even 500,000 for all the 7 years they have been on the road to even buy their own car, or even to make a deposit and borrow the rest so that they can buy their own vehicle. For 7 years, imagine being on the road. You get my point? But they are not able to save anything. But the truth of the fact, that guy or those guys, they have been in that business for 7 years because they are making something. If it is a business that, just makes them tired without any income, then I believe they couldn't have done it for 7 years. They have done it for 7 years because they are making something. But on the side of the savings, they have not been able to accumulate anything substantial to support them in making an investment of buying their own vehicle, or even buying a plot, or even building on a plot of land that they have already acquired. So that is the first instance that I'm going to base my analysis on. The second one, there is a partner, and a partner is an Uber investor, a person who has bought a vehicle and given it to a driver so that he can receive some daily income, or weekly or monthly income, depending on the arrangement with the driver. So I had a discussion with a partner. He had told me that he had bought a small vehicle, a Suzuki Alto. That vehicle was given to a driver for a period of 2 good years. That vehicle did not have any mechanical issues. It did not have any breakdown. It was just the normal service and normal repairs that any other vehicle would require. And for 2 good years, that vehicle was on the road. During the last days of the second year, the vehicle had an issue with the engine. So, the engine started failing. It started overheating. And that partner was scared on, the stories that are told out there, that if you start repairing your car, then it is the end of it. You better just dispose it and find another one. So the partner decided to sell it at a throwaway price. He had bought it at around 600K. He sold it at 350,000. And in that transaction, of course, you see he lost around 250K because he sold it at 350 instead, while he had acquired it at 600,000. But the story behind that partner was that the investment was a loss for the whole 2 years. When I listened to that partner discuss, he was telling me that the business was a complete loss for 2 years. He didn't like it. He didn't want anything to do with that business anymore. But when we sat down, I realized that the partner was just getting jittery and bitter because of the last days of that vehicle that led to engine failure and selling it at a throwaway price. But when we sat down and looked at the performance of that vehicle for the 2 years the vehicle was on the road, the partner was receiving 1,500 shillings each and every day without failure for 6 days a week for close to almost 700 days because the car was on the road for 2 years. And when we did the math of all the amount of money the partner had received, it was shocking. The partner had received almost 800,000 in cash. Okay, if you do the math, maybe you'll find around 800,000 all plus. Again, the vehicle did not have a lot of expenses in terms of I'm saying repairs and other things. So it spent very little amount of money on repairs and maintenance. So, but the problem with that partner was that the driver was sending the 1,500 shillings into that partner's M-Pesa number. So every day the partner would receive a 1,500 shilling every other day. And he told me that he used to spend that money without tracking. So if the 1,500 finds you in a supermarket, the 1,500 was spent. If the 1,500 found you in a shopping mall, he bought a shoes. If it found him with arrears of school fees, he sent that to school. So at the end of every day, the partner was broke. He did not have something to show. And that is the story of so many people who are in this business. And Uber is just an example, and any other person who is in a service industry, for instance, and is making money on daily basis. So without giving you too many stories, I want us to just analyze a solution that I started using recently for cash management, okay, and a long-term saving plan, and it is called a saving with purpose. Of course, you have to sacrifice, and discipline is something that is difficult to develop. If you know that you have an issue with the discipline, like myself, in terms of cash management and savings, then you must look for a solution that helps you to lock your saving in the long term and a saving plan that helps you to top up, because a lot of lock plans that give people opportunity to save, they don't have opportunities for you to top up as you get more money. So we are going to discuss, as I have mentioned, people who make money on daily basis and people who have an opportunity to save maybe 500 shillings to 1,000 per day. And this, I am addressing Uber drivers out there. Please pay attention, because this can help you to acquire assets in the near future. And I'm saying that if you save around 700 shillings per day for 5 years, and here I'm working with around 320 days. So you know an year has around 360 days. But I'm saying if you just work for 320 days and you save 750 shillings per day, at the end of 30 years, at the end of 5 years, you will be able to make around, you will be able to save around 1.1 million. And then assuming that the saving plan where you will put your money gives you a 30% interest out of all the money you have saved for 5 years, then you could make up to 1.5 million in 5 years. Depending on the goal or the investment purpose that you are saving for, you can choose to increase this one or decrease it, so that by the end of 5 years, you can have the amount that is suitable for the purpose that you want to develop. So I know a lot of people have spoken about money markets. I also did a video here some time back explaining how money market is a big avenue and a good avenue for you to preserve your money as you make some money. So it will gain some good amount of interest as your money is being preserved. But one big issue with money markets is, I would say, it's very liquid. If you don't have discipline, you will put money today in money market and get them out and spend it the next day. It does not have a limitation, especially if it's not a lock account, because you want a money market whereby you can be topping up your money. So my money market for me is not a big priority, in as much as it has that huge potential of compounding your money significantly and giving you more returns, but it does not solve the issue of discipline. If you are a person who likes to touch your money, even when it is in an investment plan, then money market is not a place for you to go. Because as I have said, you can put the money today and withdraw it tomorrow and purport to say that you are investing. So for me, this does not cure the problem of indiscipline when it comes to cash management. So there is this other plan that I wanted us to discuss, and this is called endowment plan. Endowment plans. So if you go into any financial institution, especially deposit taking institutions like banks, they will tell you about savings plans, and these are policies that you can enroll and lock your money as you top it up. And it does not only present the opportunity for you to save for the future, but it also gives you life insurance. So in case of unfortunate incidences of terminal illness or death of the principal contributor, then the dependents or the next of kin will be paid the sum assured, or the money that you have saved, and plus the benefits that you are supposed to receive. So because of the life insurance component, you'll find that endowment plan does not have a huge amount of interest compared to money markets. So money market, they said that if you put it in, like for example, Mansa X is one of the money market funds that perform very well in Kenya. Someone was telling me that if you put your money in Mansa X for 5 years without touching it, it will double. You get my point? It will double. You put 50,000 today in Mansa X, you don't touch it for 5 years. By the time you go there for at the 5th year, then it will be 2 times. But you see here, you are just getting 30% after 5 years. I know some people would say I would prefer money markets, but why is it that it hasn't worked for all of us, including myself? The longest period I have been able to hold my money in a money market, it was, I think, 14 months. But every other time I accumulate, then I find myself withdrawing. I accumulate, I get myself withdrawing. But a person who will tell you that they have kept their money in a money market fund for 5 years without touching it, and it is not a locked account, then I would really love to know, their lifestyle and how they developed that kind of discipline. So I'm saying you can purchase what we call an endowment plan. This endowment plan, on top of savings, I have said it will give you sometimes 30 to 50% interest, plus insurance, life insurance, which is very important. Again, we said that also drivers, remember, a lot of drivers, we said in a previous video that they don't have what we call personal accident covers. So people just purchase insurance for their vehicles, but they don't purchase insurance for their drivers. So it is very important for a driver at least to have a life insurance, if at all you don't have your personal accident. But of course, personal accident is very cheap to purchase. I think it's like 600 shillings per annum. So I don't see any reason why a driver should not have a personal accident cover. So for an endowment plan, and I'm not, a policy advisor, I advise you to walk into a bank or to these other money managers like CIC or Britam, all those guys. You can go to them and just inquire about their endowment plans and endowment policies, and just learn how it works, or just take Google, go to YouTube, just learn something about endowment policies with profit. So that's the main term you should search: endowment policy with profit. So what happens is that if you take an endowment policy, for instance, I know with ABSA, for instance, if you do ABSA, I hope you can see there, if you do ABSA, they have plans for 5 years, I think 10, 15, and I think 20 years. So those are the minimum periods you can choose to lock your money. So either 5 years, 10 years, 15, or 20, and you can choose how you should pay your premiums. For instance, here we are saying that you are saving 750 per day, or let's say 1,000 per day. So that means like 30k per month. So you can choose to pay 30k per month. So they have monthly installments, or you can pay yearly installment. So if you do yearly, it will come to 330k. So instead of you paying for 12 months, if you pay yearly on a single installment, they will give you a discount of one installment. So you only pay for 11 months. And this is how why I like so much about these premiums, because again, you have an opportunity to save a whole 1 month if you make a single installment. So why is it important for you to consider this yearly installment in combination with money markets? My advice for anyone struggling on how to save is, on your day-to-day, the 750, I would advise you to channel it into money markets, okay, with the target of accumulating until 330k every year. And then at the end of the year, you withdraw from the money market, you send it into an endowment plan as an yearly contribution, instead of you saving directly into the endowment plan on daily basis, because you cannot send it on daily basis. But if you send it on monthly basis, it means you will lose the 1 month discount that they give. But if you send it into your money market until it accumulates, there you have the motivation, you have the purpose as to why you are putting your money in money market. The goal is to make sure that you have 330k by the end of the year, so that you remove it and put it into your endowment plan. And by so doing, you'll find that the money you are putting into money market for 1 whole year, it will accumulate some interest. So by the time you are withdrawing it to put it in the endowment plan, you have already made some small profit on it. And then again, you transfer it to endowment plan, you make another discount of a whole month. So the 30k for the 12th month, you will not pay. So they'll ask you only to pay for 11 months. And then remember, you will not be able to touch that money until 5 years. Whether you are alive, if you are alive, of course, you will not be able to touch that money until the end of 5 years. In the incident whereby, for one reason, as I have mentioned, you become disabled or you pass away, then your money is disbursed or released to your dependents or your next of kin immediately after that incident happens. So it will not have to wait until 5 years. And I know a lot of people don't like to hear about life insurance, because some people will say it's a bad omen, it's a prescription for bad things to happen to you. But we live in this world. So my advice for everyone is to consider this endowment plan. And we have seen its potential. We are saying that if you just save 750 shillings per day, at the end of the 5 years, you will have your cool 1.5. 1.5, you can get yourself a very good vehicle if you are working towards buying a vehicle for your taxi business. You can buy the XL category, the biggest vehicle that every people have been admiring. With this one, you can have maybe a Nissan Serena. You can buy yourself, I would say Toyota Sienta. Very nice vehicles that are accepted into the biggest categories of the taxi business. So 5 years, some people might think is quite a very long period of time, when you think that your money will be there from day one of the first year until the last day of the 5th year. It looks like quite a lot of time for you to wait, but do nothing. And you remember your first year as if it was yesterday when you are in the 5th year. I hope you got that point.